So let's kind of get into what has happened today for LSU. LSU this morning woke up with 15 commitments, and you all understand the situation that LSU's in. Of these 15 commitments, you only have a couple that committed to Lane Kiffin. Ryan Moret, a 3-star offensive lineman, committed to Lane Kiffin, flipped from Ole Miss, and J.C. Anderson, a tight end from Decatur, Illinois, was committed to Ole Miss and flipped and committed to Lane Kiffin. Everybody else involved here committed to Brian Kelly's class. So you had 15 of those guys. You look at that group, and you still have 6 of them who have not put pen to paper. Lamar Brown, 5-star defensive lineman from right here in Baton Rouge, U-High, #1 player in the country. We know that Lamar Brown was at the LSU football operations building on Sunday when Lane Kiffin got there, or in the hours that followed. They sat down and had a conversation. He reaffirmed his commitment to LSU. In the hours that have passed over the last 2 days, those conversations have been ongoing between Lamar Brown and LSU. We know that Texas A&M made a push for him initially pre-commitment, and we know that Lamar Brown feels really good about LSU. He visited LSU many times. It's easy. He's from Baton Rouge. He goes to school on the campus. I think LSU is his preferred destination. I think that's obvious. But there is still question about LSU's defensive staff. Will Blake Baker be LSU's defensive coordinator? We don't know. Will LSU's position coach staff, specifically Kyle Williams, be around moving forward? We don't know. So Lamar Brown is taking a we don't know approach, and he has not put pen to paper. We know that LSU is aggressively pursuing his signature in the next 2 days. We know that he has 2 days to make that call, and he doesn't have to sign with anybody today or Thursday or Friday. But if he doesn't in those 3 days, then you have to wait until the second signing period. So you're waiting to see on Lamar Brown, although I think the feeling is pretty good around LSU right this second. Things can change if Blake Baker becomes the Tulane head coach and LSU's defensive staff undergoes a significant shakeup. To this point, that hasn't happened, so Lamar Brown they're waiting for. I mentioned Deuce Gerald's. We're expecting an announcement on that in half an hour. Trenton Henderson, the 4-star edge rusher from Pensacola, Florida. Big-time prospect, committed to the Brian Kelly staff. His paperwork is not in. The feeling is that that could happen later today. Haven Finney, big-time cornerback commitment from Los Angeles. The reporting is from multiple outlets that Haven Finney wants to go to LSU, but he wants to play for Corey Raymond. And Corey Raymond right now is not assured a spot, as far as we know, on Lane Kiffin's staff. Now, we know that Frank Wilson has been a hot topic. We've discussed it. And we know that Corey Raymond is a hot topic. We know what the situation is with Blake Baker. That's a Tulane or LSU thing. But with Corey Raymond, here's my thing. And this is what Haven Finney's waiting on. He wants to know where Corey Raymond's going to be. We talked yesterday to Sam Spiegelman. He thinks Haven Finney would have committed to Florida while Corey Raymond was there. Corey Raymond came to LSU. Haven Finney committed to LSU. Lane Kiffin's offensive staff is coming with him in significant numbers. And if that squeezes some guys on the offensive staff at LSU out, I may disagree or agree. We'll see. But I understand where that is. There are no defensive staffers coming with Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss to LSU. In my estimation, this is my opinion, there is no one he could hire as defensive backs coach, cornerbacks coach, whatever, that's better than Corey Raymond. In my opinion, over the course of the last 3 days, Lane Kiffin should have sat down with Corey Raymond and said, I want you here. Here's what your contract says. Here's what we're going to do. I'd like you to be here and make a commitment, and we want you to move forward recruiting and coaching this football team because you're the best in the country and you belong here. That's what I would have done. That doesn't take long. I know he's doing a lot of things right now, and I'm not 100% certain that hasn't happened, but we don't know about it if it has. If it hasn't, it should have happened. It's a 20-minute conversation, and it's important, and it should have happened, and then Haven Finney should sign on the dotted line. This is not a Haven Finney thing. I'd love to have Haven Finney at LSU. I think he's a heck of a prospect. And basically, I trust anybody that Corey Raymond signs to play defensive back at LSU. But the fact that that conversation may not have happened, to me, is a misstep. Fix it. Get Corey Raymond committed long-term, and then boom. You get Haven Finney in his class, and you move forward with one of the best position coaches in college football. That's my piece on Haven Finney. Dylan Purder, 4-star safety from Tuskegee, Alabama. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Tuskegee, I don't know. He's from Alabama. There may be a signature coming. There may not be. We'll see. We're waiting on that. And then Bryson Cooley, also kind of on the fence there, 4-star offensive tackle from Laurel, Mississippi. We'll see. Those papers have not come in. So that's what you're looking for. Lamar Brown, Deuce Geralds, Trenton Henderson, Haven Finney, Dylan Purter, Bryson Cooley have not sent their paperwork in to our knowledge. LSU has had a very good day collecting paperwork with a small class. Miami signed 29 guys earlier. 29 guys by 2 o'clock p.m. Miami time. That's a crazy amount of people. But LSU has gotten paperwork in from Jabari Mack, big-time wide receiver from New Orleans. Bryson Martinez, big-time offensive tackle, very athletic player from Gonzales, a 4-star. Braydon Allen did sign with LSU from Lafayette, wide receiver, looked at Ole Miss very hard with Lane Kiffin's offense, decided to commit to Oklahoma. Lane Kiffin shows up at LSU. Braydon Allen, whose brother Jordan signed at LSU and played for a couple years, he ends up at LSU football ops that Sunday, talks to Lane Kiffin. He's already signed with LSU. Dez Ellis, first Winsboro product since Booger McFarland to sign with LSU, 3-star cornerback. His paperwork is in. Isaiah Washington, a 3-star safety from Haynesville, more small-town North Louisiana boys coming this way. That's Isaiah Washington. Aiden Hall, this was one that was potentially on the fence because you know all these New Orleans guys are kind of looking at Frank Wilson. Aiden Hall, 4-star safety from Cal. His paperwork is in. I mentioned earlier today, J.C. Anderson, 4-star tight end from Decatur, Illinois. He flipped from Ole Miss in the last couple days. He's signed. Ryan Moret, 3-star offensive lineman from Miami. He was committed to Ole Miss. He flipped. He signed. Richard Anderson, he told everyone in New Orleans at his signing ceremony at Carr, y'all thought I wasn't signing, I'm signing, and signed his paperwork. Everyone that was there reported it. We have not gotten official word from LSU. He would have had to pull a heck of an okey doke if he didn't. He sat there with a document, signed it, told everyone he was signing it, and then everyone reported it. It's up everywhere. We just haven't gotten that official tweet from LSU that suggests the paperwork is in. That's one that was touch and go there for a little bit. I don't know to what degree, but certainly Richard Anderson and his representation have been in extensive conversations with LSU, with Lane Kiffin, with Blake Baker, with the crew here in Baton Rouge as to kind of what the future is. It's our understanding at LouisianaSports.net that was a meeting that happened yesterday, that it went very well. And Richard Anderson, who's always wanted to be at LSU, he was the first commitment into this class at LSU, has signed with LSU. I will let you know if that tweet comes across the wire, and it is officially official. Right now, we feel very good about it, but the official paperwork has not come through. So that's kind of a look at where LSU is right now. There's one more that I didn't get to because it was in the other category. Corey Barber, 4-star wide receiver from Pinson, Alabama, was a one-time Ole Miss commitment, had decommitted. Boom, he has signed with LSU. Ole Miss has done a very good job under Lane Kiffin of recruiting some not 5-star number 1 wide receiver types in the country and getting incredible production out of them. Trey Harris comes to mind as a transfer from Louisiana Tech, who was from the state of Louisiana. But they've done a really good job identifying guys. And when they came in, they felt really good about Corey Barber, who's a guy that they had pursued very, very heavily, and Braydon Allen, who's a guy they had pursued very, very heavily. They looked at Kenny Darby, and it sounds like it was kind of like, hey, you might want to look elsewhere in this period. It's kind of what it looked like. Now, Kenny Darby had a heck of a career up at Airline and Bossier, but that may have been one where they said, hey, we're going to kind of go in this direction. You know how everyone feels about Jabari Mack. That's a guy that LSU has had committed for a long time out of Carr and that everyone feels very good about. He has signed, but Corey Barber does join. So while you have lost a couple of wide receiver commits from this class, you now, with paperwork in, have Jabari Mack, have Corey Barber, and have Braydon Allen. So 3 high-profile wide receiver commits in this class. So we'll see what the next 2 hours, I guess, while I'm on hold. If y'all are looking for up-to-the-minute updates on LSU signing class, we've got a free signing day tracker right there on the top of LouisianaSports.net. As I mentioned, it's free. So you go there, and there's 3 categories: committed and unsigned, which is where you've currently got 6 names. You got signed with LSU, where you've currently got 3, 6, 9, 11. And then you've got decommitments flips from LSU. And to this point, right now, no one who has been committed to LSU over the last 24 hours, what you woke up with today, no one has decommitted nor flipped from LSU to this point. And that is a really, really good sign. It sounds like the general manager, Glasscock, that Ole Miss, that was at Ole Miss that came with Lane Kiffin to Baton Rouge has been very, very impressive in some of the meetings that they've had. He's kind of getting his feet on the ground with how LSU does things and the structure, but he's also got a way that he does things, and those are being implemented by the minute over there at LSU Ops. Right now, the priority is these players. With that comes the coaches, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more as we move forward today. Blake Baker's name and Tulane have been surfacing a lot over the course of the last 24 hours. That has not resolved itself to this point. The feeling is right now, I can tell you, that Blake Baker's feet are on the ground at LSU Ops and have been this morning, and that he is operating as LSU's defensive coordinator. Should an offer come in from Tulane, I think it's very, very likely he takes that job. It's just a matter of whether or not that offer comes, and right now I don't know whether it is or not, but he's right now operating as LSU's defensive coordinator and working through this signing day. And to this point, when you're talking about a coach who's been on the job for 2.5 days, and you look up at what LSU has in the bin and what they have not lost, it's been a really positive day for LSU's football program on this, as I'm going to call it, National Signing Day on this Wednesday. So, hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.